Ever since this damn thing stopped recording, I don't trust it. I recorded the second video podcast of the other podcast, and this wasn't even on. So now I'm just so paranoid that it's not recording. So I don't know, man. All right. Episode 327. September 10th, 2024. Tomorrow is my 1-year anniversary at working at Hill Air Force Base in Utah. So that's pretty cool. Crazy to think that a year has gone by just like that. Shout out to Kevin. Did it all by myself without my uncle. And shout out to Shawnee. Did it all by myself without my... And shout out to Jake. Did it all by myself without my cousin. Shout out to Kendall. Cousin. And shout out to Miley. No, myself. Inside jokes for the family. Love you guys. Anyway, on to the business here. So today I've started the reach outs. I've started the social media, reaching out to people, trying to talk to them, trying to like their photos, comment on their stuff, just to get attention to my profile. But in doing so, I'm committing to only leaving sincere comments, liking photos that I actually like. Well, hold on. Liking a bunch of photos, but commenting on the ones that I actually like. Making sure that whatever I say is sincere, it's real, it's genuine. I'm not just copy and pasting a whole bunch of bullshit. And that anybody who follows me, any new follower that's not friends or family or whatever, somebody that I don't know, I'll send them a message to say, hey, thank you so much for the follow. Support goes a long way. I just started a new account, so thank you for joining, whatever. So I started that today on the most microscopic level possible because my program's not done. And I would hate for someone to be like, yeah, I'll join today. And I doubt that would happen. But if that did happen, that would suck because I would say, oh, dude, actually, you know what? Program's not even done and it won't be done for another 2 weeks. So, oops, you want to hang out? Just send me the money now and I'll get you your program in a couple weeks. Promise. I won't scam you, promise. I don't know. So, yeah, I started reach outs. I'm going to try to keep a log of the things that I do and the results that I get. I'm not going to stress over this, but I will do my best to record how much I do of each. And I don't mean on the podcast, but on a document, because I really am trying to document everything. So September 10th, 2024, I left 10 comments on 10 different accounts. And on those 10 different accounts, I liked 3 of their posts, which is 30 total. And as a result of just that, I got 1 follow back, dude. Or not 1 follow back. I didn't follow anybody. Got a follow from... I guess maybe I should keep this shit kind of private, huh? I just got a follow from a gentleman. Looks like he's a web designer in India. So that's cool. As I said, I'll keep him private. So, and it was on the other account. So I would doubt that this guy has any idea that this podcast exists for him to even listen. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep logs of the things that I do as far as social media and reach outs and stuff like that. So because he followed me, I now have 20 followers on this new account. Seems like I get about half of the people that follow me now seeing my stories and liking my posts. Or my post is probably closer to 3 or 4 or 5 people out of the 20. So just sharing the stats. I don't really feel anything about it. I just started. So yeah, so my goal now is to do this at least this level. So 10 comments on 10 different accounts, 3 likes per account, once a day. Because I did that on my lunch break or my break, whatever, at work. It took me about 15 minutes to go through and find 10 accounts to leave a comment on the posts and then like their whatever. Now this is much different than sending a DM, which is the original goal, because DMs is how I'm going to get an actual conversation going and is how I would then qualify a prospect for the program and then eventually get them on a phone call and then sell them the program and then fulfill the dream I have of being my own boss. It's not my dream. I mean, of course I want to be my own boss, but that I don't think, I can't wait to work for I don't think that. I just think I want to just keep working so hard so that my life, my income, my livelihood is a result of me, because I think that demands a lot of respect. Just thinking, dude, I don't know. I think about this all the time, but there's organizations out there who have teams, who have processes and systems and a whole load of shit. And the average guy that's coming in has no idea all that stuff is structured the way it is. You know, I'm kind of flexing, beating my chest here, but to think that me, 27-year-old man, has 2 podcasts, is working on this fitness program, mental toughness program, whatever, that will help other men transform their lives. I have that. I'm actively eating all my food, whatever, drinking my water, whatever. But that I'm also doing the small things that people just don't even think about, which is spending a whole day recording a podcast, then splicing it up, making podcast clips out of it, then using photos from that and in the previous week to make social media content. I'm going to talk about that. And then use that to make other Twitter posts and different captions or whatever. And then writing 20 captions and then finding the appropriate hashtags, then researching what time is the best time to post depending on my target demographic and what hashtags to use at what time depending on the post so it performs as best as it possibly can. And then showing the right photos at the right time. Same with the Instagram stories, which is a whole other thing. What time do I post what things? How many different categories are there? What should I optimize for, or not optimize? What should I prioritize? What posts perform the best? The only way I can know that is if I look at the analytics on a weekly basis or even daily, see what's doing the best, then do more of that, rinse and repeat until I have the best shit that I can make before I then have to get somebody else. But then that's just that, dude. And then I have the whole workout program. I made all the workout apps, I made all the workout programs, put it in the app, made a whole auto scheduling process and an auto flow, got all the automated messages, got all the tasks, got all the measurements, got all the guides, got all the tutorials, all the videos I made, all the different documents, all the different Google Sheets that people have access to, all that stuff. And I'm hitting the gym full time. And I've got all this other shit going on solo, all combined with me working a full-time job. I can't say 3 jobs anymore, dude. Ego hit right there. But doing all that, working a full-time job, and making this dream happen. And I think that's pretty fucking baller for anybody to commit to, and I guess, I don't know, just commit to it. I think it's fucking cool. I don't think it's not cool if you don't do it. I don't give a fuck. I just think it's baller that somebody would be willing to do that, because I think so here's the thing. If somebody just told me what I just said, I would say, yeah, dude, you will for sure make it. Just don't give up. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, there's no way in hell you wouldn't make it. So I don't know, man. All that being said, the more shit that I do, the more respect I think I find I have for myself, because the more I realize, the more work that I put in, the easier it is to have more respect for myself. Not that I do, but it's easier. Because everything I just said, it's like, yeah, dude, I'm kind of working hard right now. And there's working smart, there's working hard. I think I'm doing a little bit of both, but I definitely could work harder and I definitely could work smarter. There's always room for improvement, so I'm not saying I'm this or that, but whatever. So if you took that as me, pounding my chest or whatever, so be it. I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I'm not going to stop. So just some observations I'm making. So there's that. So I plan to log all the social media reach outs and stuff like that. So that's that. So along with that, though, I shouldn't have, but I was working on this little social calendar. And there's an app, a software, it's called Later. It's called Later Social, I believe. And I believe I talked about this already. I don't think I did, actually. But so it's $25 a month. I'm pretty sure I did, because it's more software I got to buy. But it's $25 a month. I can set up 30 posts per social profile. So that's Instagram. I could do 30 posts. I can schedule them. Where's the comparisons? Hold on. I don't know where it is. Yes, I can schedule 30 posts per social profile. I have analytics of up to 3 months in the past, which I would like more, but I have to upgrade. But I don't need that right now, so I'm not worried about it. 5 credits for AI features. Don't know what that is. Collab tool for creators. So most important thing about this software is that it allows me to schedule my social media, so that way I don't have to be on my phone multiple times a day posting content, making the first comment, putting the hashtags in, whatever. I just do it all in bulk. I meal prep my social media, and I don't got to worry about it, because this software takes care of it for me. So I made a little calendar of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what I'm posting at what time. Because if I'm able to produce 20 pieces of content per week, then I should be posting twice a day on my Instagram feed, and then multiple times on my Instagram story per day. And I only have 20 followers. Half the people that I would argue that every single person who's following me now has no interest, no desire to be a part of anything that I'm doing as far as joining the program. If they are, then I'd love to be wrong about that. But my next thought is, why would I, quote, waste all this content and effort and time making double posts? Because I know I even said I didn't want to do this a few days ago. But I think back to this story that I heard on Modern Wisdom. It's a podcast. His name's Chris Williamson. It's a fucking amazing podcast. It features a lot of great names in the entrepreneurship world and the science world. And it's just good shit. So just go check it out if you haven't. If you don't know about it. Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom. It's like a big, bright teal background with a handsome motherfucker from the UK on the front cover. So anyway, there's a collab with Alex Hormozi. Go figure. Talk about the guy all the time. He tells a story about the class with a pottery class. So half the class is instructed to make as many pots as humanly possible. Okay. What the fuck just happened? To make as many pots as humanly possible. And then the second half of the class was instructed to make the most perfect pot that they could. And what he found was, at the end of the semester, not only did the half of the class that made more pots make more, but the average quality of all their pots was better than the other half of the class their goal was to make one. So the moral of the story is, doing a shitload of volume, even though the first half might be ass, is better than trying so hard to focus on just one. Because the work that you put out gradually, incrementally gets better and better and better. The more that you put out there, take feedback, whatever, come back and do it again. It gets better and better and better. You find better and quicker ways to do things. You find this or that trick or this tip or whatever that speeds things up. And then the quality of content overall just goes up. So instead of me trying to focus on 7 great posts for the week, what I would like to do, and this is because I would like to force myself to grow and become better with time. I haven't committed yet, but I want to post twice a day on Instagram. And it would just be the rotating schedule, so the Instagram feed theme looks nice. I don't want to care about that, but if it looks nice, then I think that's just one more thing that adds to the credibility of the account. I mean, it's just like, oh, it looks cool. I mean, I don't think people give a shit. I don't really give a shit, but I just think it looks cool. So, but if I posted twice a day, once at 10 a.m., once at 6 p.m., that's 14 posts a week. And that just, I don't know, man. It just forces me to think outside the box and to get content rolling and to make something and to not care about if it's perfect or if this or that, but to just put it out. Not for the sake of putting it out and checking off a box, but for the sake of getting better at what I'm doing. It's not about putting out perfect content and whatever. It's about figuring out how to make the perfect content. Because if I put out, like, for example, in a year's time, I put out 365 posts. That's 365 posts that I can look at and get feedback from. But if I went twice a day, I would have double the data to go from. And maybe one of those additional 365 is one that pops off and goes viral. Who knows? I can then look at that and then analyze that and say, okay, well, this one got, 20,000 views in the first hour. Every single other one only got 4 views. So why did this one pop off? And I can look at it and I can learn from that one post, similar to the pottery class. I can look at that one pot that was made so perfectly and say, okay, well, we kicked ass on the handle. We kicked ass on the handle. The brim of the pot is perfect. Let's keep on doing that from here on out. And then maybe, because I had that one viral piece pop off in the first year, I'm able to do that 5 more times the next year. And maybe that compounds into 20 and maybe 150. And it's all about getting there as quickly as I can. And the way that I can do that, the way that I can speed up the process of learning and making my shit better, is by making worse shit more often so that I can learn from it and keep on improving and raising my own standard, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, making less of that. It just speeds up the process, So I think extreme examples are able to paint the picture more clearly. So if I posted once a year, and I took feedback from that one post, I probably wouldn't have, the post in the second year probably wouldn't be that much better because I only have one thing to go off of. If I post twice in 2 years, I can only base that second post off of how well the first one did. If it did better, then I can say, okay, yeah, this is better than the first one. If it did worse, then I can say, oh, this is worse than the first one. But that doesn't really give me much. There's nothing to go off of. It's better or worse. That's it. There's no stacking of comparison or whatever. It's just it did better or worse. But if I posted 3 times a day for a year, I have 1,095. Is that what it is? 1,095 posts to go off of. So I have 1,095 reps at posting content, making content, trying to do something different with captions, hashtags, whatever. All because I worked harder to make more content, to put it out there. Not even if I only had 1 follower. I am now so much better at making content, period. So that's the idea. So a lot of it probably will go unseen, but that doesn't mean I can't ever reuse it. I probably will reuse a shit ton of the stuff that I make now. I'm already even reusing stuff I have from the past, just old photos of me in the gym looking nice because I am definitely not at my peak physique aesthetic now. I used to be, I think I peaked so far in my life. I will peak again, don't worry. But I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago? No, hold on, let's think about this. I think it was about 2 years after I competed. This was 2019. So 5 years ago. I think that's when I looked the best, felt the best. So I plan to use a lot of photos from back then. But anyway, that's the goal. So I only have 20 followers. Pretty much all of them don't give a shit about what I'm doing now. But if I have double the amount of posts and somebody comes along, looks at my content, and they resonate with one of the ones that I wouldn't have even posted if I hadn't gotten that far because I was only posting once a day, but now I'm posting twice a day. That could just, who knows, man? So don't want to commit to that quite yet. I still would like to make sure that I can do this and that I can commit to this. But if I am able to produce 20 pieces of content every single week, then there's no reason why I shouldn't post all 20. But keeping it to two a day for the feed. And then that's the other thing I'm going to talk about. These shows go on for so long now that I have some kind of structure and organization with what I want to talk about. Holy shit. So with the stories, I would post 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 7 p.m. That's just according to a quick little bit of very surface level research I did for the best time to post on Instagram stories for maximum engagement. That would be Instagram stories. Now, what the hell would I post on Instagram stories? So that's 4 on Instagram stories, and then that's 2 on the feed. So that's 6 times a day. So that's a lot. So on my stories, I could post testimonials. I could post workout nutrition tips. I could put polls or quizzes on there. Just have fun. Use the answers and replies as leads to engage with and message and whatever. I could put some kind of motivational quote. I can reshare my own posts as a story post or whatever. I can reshare somebody else's post. I can post something funny if I wanted to. I can post music. I can post how I track my progress, how I log my progress, just fitness and nutrition tips. Just highlight some common mistakes. So like if I'm at the gym, I can be like, hey guys, don't do this. Or if I'm about to eat something, I'll be like, hey guys, make sure you check this, whatever. Then I can share these podcast episodes. I can post different clips that don't make it to the feed. Just some nice quality content. I can do Q&As on the Instagram on stories, so I can post, hey, ask me a question. I only have 20 followers, so I guarantee you nobody would ask me a question. And so I'd have to ask my own self questions, which is fine because who gives a fuck? It's a way for me to put content out, so who cares? And then I can do personal wins, like for my life, things that I've learned, just sharing shit, And then, so that's just some behind the scenes shit, workout demos. I could do mindset Monday challenges, tips for discipline, raising your standard, how to, whatever. The possibilities are endless. And with Instagram stories, they don't got to be, I think the idea is to just make them quick and short, just a quick video. Because I think people relate most to the real authentic shit of like, hey guys, I'm in the grocery store. Look at this fucking aisle, dude. It's blue and red. Smells like eggs. I don't know. They just made that shit up. But as opposed to me making some professional content with a cameraman and a whole crew and a green screen and whatever. I mean, that stuff has its place, but I think people, I don't know. So, but yeah, so I could probably just add that to the content creation Fridays. I'm definitely loading that day full of content creation, so I'm gonna have to split that to another day. I don't know. Maybe that's gonna have to be Saturday mornings as well. But I don't know. Content and all that stuff is one of the many forms of life that a business has. So if I can be on top of the content game, I think that would be extremely beneficial for me. So with that in mind, Alex Hormozi has shared another story. He said that he was talking to one of his billionaire friends or whatever, who's doing really well, but this guy's social media, he says that he only posts once a day. And Alex was like, "Oh, we post 300 times a week." Or maybe it was a month. I think it was a month. 300 times. No, he says he posts once a day every week. So 28 times a month. And then Alex was like, "Oh, we post 300 times." I think it was a week actually, because he's posting on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, you name it. And then the billionaire friend was like, "Oh, okay, say no more. I got it." So it's just because Alex always talks about doing, like, instead of measuring in ones or twos or threes, measure in 100s. So how many 100s of DMs did you send today? How many 100s of minutes did you dedicate to making this happen today? You know, rather than being like, "Yeah, I messaged 20 people." It's like, how many hundreds of people did you message? Oh, 500. 500 is a lot more than 4, you know? So it's just reframing the amount of work that's required, because I think a lot of people, you know, with the whole ignorance tax thing I'm talking about more and more, I think that people fall off because they don't realize that the price of admission is so high. And I forget and remember this all the time, because I have this podcast. I'm coming up on a year. And to get to episode 365 in 1 year, you have to understand and accept the fact that you have to record one show every single day, no matter what, for the rest of the entire year. And that was never, well, I can't say that was never my goal, because it's always been my goal to, well, I guess my goal was to 20 years. So I think that's one thing that helped me, was I accepted right off the bat that this is a 20-year project, and that even if I am perfect at this for the next 8 years, I'm not even halfway there. So I think I just set the tone for this goal early for me. So I think I need to do that with everything that I do moving forward. So with this whole posting twice a week bullshit in the stories, I think I'll just like, okay, well, I have to do this. This is now what I have to do forever. So here we go. You know, it's not just, okay, I'm going to do this for the next 3 months. And then, you know, it's like, no, I got to do this. This is part of the whole thing now. So I don't know. So I'm going to move on from that topic. I just keep beating shit up, dude. Got to learn when to move on. You know, I'm going to save this topic for another day. I'm not in the mood to talk about this. It's just some real shit. I don't want to talk about real shit right now. I'm having a good time. Got to eat my dinner and finish what I'm working on. I'm just working on the nutrition guide and stuff again, and also that social calendar. Today's been a good day for me, man. I've gotten a lot done. I feel like I've been very focused today. And go figure, dude, I went to bed right on time last night. So is it a coincidence that when I get quality, good amount of sleep, that the next day is just fucking great for me? Is that a coincidence? Dude, I don't know why, but every night I think, okay, well, it's 8 o'clock. If I just stay up maybe another hour, I'm only losing an hour, so that's fine. It's fine. An hour. But I think what I'm missing is that if I work one more hour, that hour is me at my worst, because I'm the most tired, because bedtime is right there. And also, by me choosing to stay up another hour to work, even though it is lower quality work, I'm then hindering the results and the effectiveness of my ability to work tomorrow, which kind of snowballs into shittier work until I can finally rest up and then have a better day because I'm focused and locked in, whatever. And I still take the bet of, I'll work one more hour. I can get more shit done. And I think that's just one of the hardest lessons I'm trying to learn right now, which is, I think it's pretty cool to stay up late or to wake up super early. I think that's boss shit. I really do. I think I was, for a point in time, I was waking up at 1:45 a.m. to go outside in the 10-degree weather, run a mile, come home, take an ice bath, go into my room, read, stretch, study whatever I got to do, make my power list for the day, then go out, shower, make my lunch, and then go to work at 4:30. There was a point in time where I was doing that, and I felt like a fucking baller, but at the expense of, because dude, if you're gonna wake up at 1:45, you have to go to bed at damn near, you have to go to bed at 6:45 p.m. on the dot to get 8 hours of sleep. And that just wasn't really practical for me. So, I did it most of the time. No, some of the time I did it. The other half of the time I was still going to bed around 8 or 9. And so no wonder why I was so tired all the time. But what I'm trying to get at is, it's pretty cool to say that you wake up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and you go to bed at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. because you're up hustling and you're up working. That's great. But if you're not resting and recovering and getting a good night's rest, I think that's kind of a poor choice. And I'm trying to learn this lesson. But like I just said, it's 7 o'clock right now. I probably should, after the show, just work because it's 7:06. I need to go to bed in an hour. I probably should wrap the show up here in 5 minutes, write about it, upload it, and then use the remaining 15 minutes to finish up what I'm working on. And then at 7:30, just shut work down and get ready for bed. Take a shower, do whatever I got to do, and just relax. And that way I can go to bed on time. Because I think that is what... Sorry, I'm writing this shit down real quick before I forget. I think that is just one of the most underrated... Not underrated, everybody knows. The most overlooked pieces of the puzzle. I've talked about this so many times. But I used to be the guy that was like, dude, fuck sleeping 8 hours. I'm going to sleep 6. Because if you live to be 100 years old and you sleep 8 hours every night, that's 33 years of your life. But if you only sleep 6 hours a night every single day, then that's 25 years of your life, because it's just a percentage of the day. So 8 hours is 33%. 6 hours is 25%. So as a result, if you sleep 6 hours a day, you get 8 more years of life if you live to be 100. 8 more years of life. But if those 8 more years of life are shitty quality and shitty focus and you're distracted and you don't feel good, is it better to have all that extra time and feel shitty? Or is it better to sacrifice that time so that the remaining, all the time that you do have... Okay, that's a better question. Would you rather have 33 years, or would you rather have 8 years extra of life, but all your current life is kind of distracted, kind of out of focus, not the greatest, you're a little tired all the time? Or would you rather have 8 less years of life, but every day you're very focused, you're very energetic, you're very aware? The more I think about that now, being 27 with the goals that I have and whatever, working on my stuff, the more I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll get rid of some years, but just make me more alert and more focused and more energized. So there's that. So that's the show. It's September 10th, 2024. It's Tuesday, 7:08 p.m. Talked about the reach outs log and the comments and the likes and stuff on social media. Talked about my social media calendar and when I plan to post things. Talked about committing to posting twice a day and then posting on Instagram stories 3 to 5 times a day as well, which would put me at about 35 to... What would that be? 35 to 49 posts per week on social media, just on Instagram, for the sake of getting better. Then we talked about the clay pottery classes, and then we talked about sleep. So that's a quick summary of the show. Yep. No intro, outro. Good night.